All right, in this video, I'm going to share with you how we helped this ecom brand add $514,000 per month to their revenue. I'm going to break down the exact step-by-step process. My name is Zach Schaefer. I'm the founder of ZHS Ecom, and I do this for a living. I help ecom brands scale their revenue with email and SMS marketing. This one in particular took their revenue from $2 million per month. And with our help and with our support and a supporting cast of a lot of different people, scaled it from $2 million per month to over $5 million per month. I'm going to share with you how we improved their email flows and what we actually did to support them on that extreme revenue growth right there. Month number one here, they're at $218,000 per month. Month number two, they're at $419K. And after we came in and after we were done, we took them from $218K per month to $732,000 per month from their email flows. So just a little bit of context here. We completely refreshed every single one of their email flows as well as their pop-ups. And now we're helping them with their campaign. So we'll definitely have to do an update later. But basically we went in and number one, we created all these different site pop-ups. So we had the pop-up for mobile, we had the pop-up for desktop. And then what we actually did was we included SMS retargeting pop-ups. So mobile and desktop for those, which if you don't know, the SMS retargeting pop-ups are something that I don't see a lot of people doing, but they massively help to grow your SMS list. So what you can do is you can give people an exclusive offer and you can target people with this pop-up. It's only going to go to people who have subscribed for email, but not SMS. So you can give them a birthday offer, you can give them just special access, you can tell them about the SMS list, and it's only going to people who, again, are really warm and just haven't signed up for SMS yet. And that's going to get them onto the SMS list. So that's a huge part of our strategy right there. And then we have these automated email and SMS flows. As you can see here, we had the welcome series, we had the SMS welcome flow, we had 4 different abandonment flows, and then we had a bunch of different post-purchase flows. So the customer thank you, upsell, product review, cross-sell, win back, VIP customers, and a few more that I can touch on in the rest of this video. But basically, we need to have all these flows in place since they're automated messages, they're bringing in revenue on autopilot. So things like the welcome series and the SMS welcome flow are great to introduce people to the brand. A lot of brands out there might have 1 or 2 or 3 emails within their welcome series. We have 8. And same thing with the SMS welcome flow. Some people don't even set up SMS. We really want to, especially for a big brand like this, we definitely want to capitalize on SMS as much as possible and grow their list as much as possible. And then with the abandonment flows, we have the checkout, cart, browse, and site abandonment. So many people are missing a few of these. So a lot of people only have the cart abandonment or they only have the checkout abandonment, but they don't include the other. Same thing with the site abandonment is something that's absolutely just a great revenue driver, but so many people miss out on that. And same thing with the welcome or with the customer thank you flow, that post-purchase flow. So many people, they build a few emails, it's okay, but it's not really optimized. They're not really thinking about, hey, if someone buys product category 1 versus 2 versus 3 versus 4, how can we treat these customers differently and how can we provide them with value that's going to be based on what they actually purchased versus just giving a generic thanks for shopping like everyone else. If you want your brand to be the same as every single other brand out there, then yeah, have the same marketing as everyone else. However, if you truly want to scale your company, if you truly, in this case, want to go from $2 million per month to 5, you need marketing that's customized to that customer, what actions they're actually taking on the website. Same thing, you want to treat your VIP customers differently, and you want to treat those customers that kind of have lapsed and haven't really engaged with your brand very much. You want to treat them differently with your customer win back and VIP customers flow. The initial state of the brand here, they actually came over from another email provider. So they were new to Klaviyo within 2024. And so they're just getting started. They built out everything. However, these templates were just basic, boring Klaviyo templates. They were not customized. As you can see here, I'll get to in a second. They looked okay. They had the brand colors, but they just really didn't show how premium of a quality the brand is. So this is a pretty well-established brand in the online alcohol industry. larger team, there's a lot of approvals and red tape and stuff like that. It wasn't horrible, honestly, but just working with a larger brand like this, it's different than working with your 3-person D2C brand doing 100K per month. It's different when you're doing a few mil a month. So again, they had okay performance. The products tell themselves, people love their products. So performance wasn't like terrible by any means. They definitely knew what they were doing, but to a certain extent. They knew they could do better, and that's why they hired us, because they knew that, hey, we do this. This is our bread and butter. We've been doing it for 5 years now. We know how to make email templates that convert. So strategy breakdown here. As you can see here, this is what the emails were looking like beforehand. They had the standard Klaviyo templates. All of this text was editable in Klaviyo. But the thing is, if you're just using Klaviyo, it's going to look out of the box. There's no customizability. They're a very premium quality brand with very low quality emails. They really didn't include very much social proof at all, pretty minimal copy. As you can see in these 2 examples, they're not sharing any stories about the brand. They're not providing value. They're only focusing on the products. They're saying, hey, here's a picture of the product. Here's a picture of this bourbon. Here's a picture of this whiskey. Here's a few pieces of copy. Buy it. That's okay. It's not like it's not going to produce sales, but you can do a lot better. You can entice those people who are a little bit more on the edge. Maybe they're looking at this whiskey and they're trying to think, hey, I could probably go get this at the grocery store. What's so good about you guys? What's so good about your membership program in this case? Especially for them, they have a lot of different subscriptions and membership programs that are outside of their products, and those weren't being pushed at all within the bottom parts of the emails. They're just heavily focusing on the product. They say, hey, product. And instead, what we did was we created way better looking email designs, as you can see here. These are just a few of my favorites. And you can see here, these are 100% customized. They're premium looking emails for a premium level brand. They had this beautiful website. They had beautiful celebrity endorsements, and they had a beautiful content on their Instagram and on their other social media, but their emails looked like they were stuck in 2010. So you can see here, these are optimized for mobile and desktop. They're 100% optimized for deliverability. Yes, we do use image emails, and image emails was part of the strategy in taking them from $2 million per month to $5 million per month. There's a lot of people out there that don't know what they're talking about that will say, hey, image emails are going to go to spam, this, that, and the other. They're not. We made them $500,000 extra per month using these image-based emails. And the thing is, with these image-based emails, there's a few things that you really need to do, or else, yes, they will go to spam if you're not including alt text, if you're not compressing your images, if you're not sending to the right people at the right time, if you have poor flow filters and flow structure, then yes, you are going to go to spam. However, we do it the right way, and we make sure that these are actually getting sent straight to the inbox. These really show off the premium quality of their products. We added in more social proof. We focused on the products, yes, but also why should people purchase the brand? How can we solve objections within the flow? How can we educate? How can we tell a story? How can we provide way more value than everyone else? You can see here, for example, this is a post-purchase email. If someone bought tequila, then you're going to get a recipe on, hey, here's how to create XYZ. Here are the instructions. And you can see here's what you get as a brand name member. So they had a membership program. And so we added copy in here that explains what's so good about that program. And you can see here, we're making sure the first fold of each email is optimized. So we want to have this button within the first fold. And we just want to show off they have great product shots and they have a great website. So we want to take what's on the website and just turn that into an email. It was super easy. They had a beautiful website already, so it made our job that much easier. But really, I think these emails are essentially like landing pages that are selling the click. All right, so flow structure. Basically, what I see so many brands, even ones that are doing a few $1 million per month already, the issue is that they look in Klaviyo, and Klaviyo gives you these kind of boring flow templates here where it's, hey, you have a trigger, and then you have a message, then you have a message, and then you have a message, which is fine if you're at lower levels, but especially if you're trying to scale to multiple 7 figures per month, you need to have a better flow structure, and you need to think about how do we actually segment based on what we know about that person. You can see here they had 1 to 3 emails within each flow. This is an example of their abandoned cart flow. Again, it worked. It, yes, got the job done. However, pretty poorly segmented. We're giving discounts to everyone. And especially the issue with that is you're just eroding your margins. If you're going to give a discount every single time to every single person, there's no point. People can just wait till they get that 10% off discount or that 20% or whatever it is. Overall, we saw very low click-through rates, very low conversion rates compared to what they otherwise could be doing. With our flow structure here, you can see we're doing 4 to 8 or more well thought out emails within each flow. We really looked at the segmentation strategy and we said, hey, how can we improve this? How can we actually look at which customers we're sending emails to? Things like giving discounts to non-buyers. We only want to give discounts to people who've never made a purchase before, as well as just looking at those CTRs and conversion rates and including SMS into here as well. So as you can see here, this is an example from going with that simple 1, 2, 3 structure to something that has more like 8 different messages within one single flow. That's an example here of how we're drastically improving just the overall quality and the overall segmentation of these flows. And that's just one example here. There's many more and a lot more that we did to really improve the overall structure and the strategy of these flows. But it just takes someone who's really done this before and who really is an expert who can actually go in, because you, especially as if you're running a brand, you don't want to think about every single little nitty-gritty detail. You really want to have someone who can go in there and make this their full-time job and really think through everything based on what they're seeing about your brand and based on what they've seen works for dozens of brands in the past. So at the end here, what we did was we wanted to look at, okay, how do we actually know these flows are producing results? So we looked at a metric that we essentially came up with. It's very simple. It's called revenue per flow entrant, rather than what Klaviyo gives you, which is revenue per recipient. The issue with revenue per recipient is it just looks at, hey, how much money did this bring in versus how many emails did we send out, which it's not very helpful. The only time it's helpful is when you're comparing like one flow email versus another flow email. If you're comparing apples to apples, that's fine. But when you're comparing an email flow with 8 different messages within it versus one that has 2, the one that has 8, if it's a longer flow, it's going to bring in more revenue on a monthly basis versus one that only has 2 emails in it. However, the shorter flow is going to get a better revenue per recipient versus the longer email flow. So that's why revenue per recipient is always going to be lower with a longer email flow, because those messages 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they're going to be adding incremental revenue. So they're going to be outperforming the shorter email flow because there's just more messages, more shots on goal, but they're going to be producing less revenue than emails 1 and 2, because emails 1 and 2 are going to bring in the most amount of your revenue, and then emails 3, 4, all the follow-ups are going to bring in a lot less. So as you go through the flow, there's going to be less revenue per email. Basically, if you wanted to absolutely max out your revenue per recipient, you would just have every single flow have 1 email in it. That would be the way that you could gamify the system. So that's why instead we use revenue per flow entrant. All right, results and analysis here, wrapping things up. So month 1, they were doing 218K per month before we came in. Month 2, after we helped them out, they went up to 419K per month from their flows. And month 3, they made it all the way up to $732,000 per month from their email flows. And the great thing about these email flows is that they are essentially bringing in revenue on autopilot. We set them up once. And yes, there's going to be some minor tweaks and some modifications. Maybe you need to swap out some product images. Maybe you need to make some split test decisions and things like that. But overall, it's very minimal. They're automations. They're pretty much like salespeople that are going out and doing the selling for you on autopilot. It's a great thing. And it's a great one-time setup, and it makes a ton of money. So these flows are going to be in their accounts. They're going to be generating revenue for 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years down the line with pretty minimal upkeep. And yeah, as you can see here, that being said, they started out about $2 million per month, and they're continuing to grow, but they hit really a peak here at about 5.1 million per month, as well as 4.7 that next month. That's the video. If you're running the marketing for a D2C e-commerce brand and you want help doing something similar, simply go to zhs-ecom.com ecommerce.com. Go ahead, apply to work with us, and we can talk about how to actually scale your D2C brand. Appreciate your time.